Hi everyone, welcome back to Philosophy 101. The last couple of days have been difficult. It was exhausting, it was draining, and I sat on my bed and I felt defeated. And something that I read last week popped into my head. And in one of those chapters called The Tibetan Views of Dying, they basically describe the stages of going to bed and waking up is paralleled with death and rebirth, because the Tibetans, they believe in rebirth. So they say that the sensations you feel are not exactly the same, but the kind of changes in consciousness is pretty much the same as rebirth. I told myself, okay, what if I wake up tomorrow and it's my rebirth? Because we've heard of stories where people go to bed and they don't wake up in the morning. And this is such a simple thing that we all do. We don't normally think about it because you're like, yeah, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, right? So I told myself, it's a privilege to go to bed and wake up in the morning. And a lot of us take that for granted. I went to bed and my head hit the pillow and I started to be aware of everything that was happening till I wasn't aware anymore. And I slipped into deep sleep. Honestly, guys, I think that was one of the best sleeps I've had in the last week. I did not have any dreams. I just had a peaceful sleep. I normally wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning to send my sister off. Last night, I set this intention, okay, I'm wake up at 6. And weirdly enough, I could sense the fact that I was waking up 5 minutes before the alarm went off. And that's happened to me before, but I never really understood, or I was never really aware of it happening. But this morning when I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm actually awake. I'm starting to be awake. And I was like, okay, now the alarm rings and I'm actually awake. And I was alert and I was up and I was awake. For someone who had a head filled with worries when she went to bed, I was too happy in the morning. And get this, the first thing that I did was to whip out my book. It's a free writing book. And I just started writing all these solutions to the problems that I was thinking about the night before. And these solutions are more to do with the things that I could control. And of course, the things that I cannot control, I had to let them go. It was as though for those good 7 hours last night, I had forgotten about all my worries and I had just slept peacefully. And in the morning, I was in a very clear mind state to actually figure out the solutions to the problems that I had. I'm not saying that the problems are going to go away if you go to bed or if you do this mindful sleeping routine. One thing that I learned today is that when you go into that mindful awareness of sleeping and waking up knowing that it's a privilege, so there's this play of gratitude here, right? Because you're grateful to be alive, you're grateful to be awake. I'm just saying that it gives you a clearer mind state to sort of analyze your problems and come up with solutions. Now, with the Tibetan views of dying, we don't necessarily have to agree with the way they describe it, because if you want to know more, honestly, go have a read of this book and it has all of the more specific parts of it. I know I've just mentioned this briefly today. You don't necessarily have to agree with what they've explained, but just having this different perspective can change your morning. So a few days back, I had posted a question poll on my Instagram asking, what would you do if today was your last day on earth? Well, look, this question popped up to me that morning because I was riding my bicycle down the road and I almost died. And for a minute I was like, hold up, what if I had actually died? Would that matter? How would I feel? Yada yada yada, right? And that's why I posted it on my Instagram as well. And there were a variety of responses, ranging from people doing the things that they love to people doing things for the people they love. This question helped us prioritize what's truly important in our lives. In fact, I used that question to motivate myself to make a productive day out of it. But I knew that this question had an element of fear in it. We're all afraid of dying. We're all afraid of death. And if we have that due date, and if we think that that due date might be today, we try to make the best out of today, partly because of fear. But now, this Tibetan view of dying that I've sort of adapted and I've applied today, it puts a twist on how you look at your day. What if we take every day as a rebirth? What if we consider waking up a privilege? What will we do then? We know that motivation by fear is effective, but motivation by love, motivation by gratitude is powerful. Will our actions be driven by fear or by absolute gratitude for life? Hope you guys liked this video. This is something that is happening real time, and I'm sharing it with you guys. If you have any thoughts, don't hesitate to comment down below, or just DM me and we can have a chat. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Bye.